Some women do not chase. Some women do not plead. They walk away in silence, and that silence becomes unforgettable. A man may think he is free when she leaves, but Jung taught that nothing repressed ever disappears. It hides, it waits, it returns. Her absence becomes his mirror. Her silence awakens the shadow he buried. Carl Jung spoke of the anima, the hidden feminine inside every man. She is not merely a fantasy or a lover's face. She is the inner soul image, the key to his longing, the reason he pursues, obsesses, and suffers. When a man meets a woman who reflects his anima, he does not simply see her. He sees himself, the part he has forgotten, denied, or exiled. That is why she becomes unforgettable. That is why silence wounds deeper than words. In her presence, he feels complete. In her absence, he feels the fracture. He scrolls through his phone, not for the words she wrote, but for the energy behind them. He replays her laughter, not for the sound itself, but for the way it filled his emptiness. His ego tells him, "You are strong without her," but his shadow whispers, "She carries what you lost." Picture a dinner table with 2 glasses of wine. Only one has been touched. The chair across from him is empty, but heavier than if she were sitting there. Picture the silence of a late-night room. Her perfume lingers on his shirt, yet she is nowhere to be found. It is here, in the quiet spaces, that her power grows, not in words, not in demands, but in absence. She is not weak. She does not chase because she knows what Jung knew, that the feminine does not conquer by possession, but by reflection. Her silence reflects his wounds. Her absence reflects his need. And in that reflection, his shadow rises. Every man carries a double image, the persona he shows to the world, and the shadow he hides within. The woman who walks away in silence does not fall into his persona. She falls into his shadow. And there she becomes unforgettable, for he cannot destroy her memory without destroying himself. Here is the paradox of her silence. She is not powerless. She is aware. She is conscious of her worth. She knows that obsession begins not when she gives more, but when she gives nothing at all. The man, trapped between his ego and his shadow, realizes too late her silence is not absence. It is mastery. And so, the first hidden mirror is revealed. A man does not crave a woman's presence as much as he craves what she awakens in him. Her silence does not erase her. It engraves her. It makes her eternal. But this is only the beginning, for silence does not end at longing. Silence becomes desire, and desire, when denied, mutates into obsession. Desire is not always spoken. Some desires remain buried, hidden beneath the surface of pride, sealed away in the vault of a man's silence. Carl Jung called it repression, the refusal to face what burns inside. But repression is not death. It is a slow fire, smoldering in the unconscious, waiting for the woman who dares to awaken it. Every man carries 3 forbidden desires: the hunger for surrender, the hunger for being seen, and the hunger for wholeness. He denies them. He hides them. He masks them with bravado. But the woman who withdraws, who no longer feeds his ego, is the one who forces them into the open. He tells the world he wants freedom, yet secretly he longs for the safety of devotion. He claims he is strong alone, yet secretly he aches to be fully seen. He insists he does not need her, yet secretly he seeks the lost fragments of his own soul in her silence. These desires are never confessed. They are too dangerous, too humiliating for his ego. But Jung warned, what is not brought to consciousness emerges as fate, and so when she leaves, his hidden desires begin to consume him. In the quiet of midnight, he replays her absence like a ritual. The glow of his phone screen becomes an altar to what he cannot admit. At the table with friends, he laughs too loudly, trying to bury the truth. But inside, every silence is her voice, every gap is her reflection. The archetypal woman in Jung's vision is not the one who gives endlessly, it is the one who withholds, who withdraws, who reminds him that desire grows in emptiness. She is not cruel, she is not manipulative. She simply knows the oldest truth, that a man's hidden desires are revealed not when she stays, but when she walks away. The Stoics taught men to master desire, to live untouched by longing. But trauma shows us the opposite, that suppressed hunger always returns, twisted, sharper, more dangerous. This is where Jung's wisdom cuts deepest. A man does not escape his shadow by denying it. He only becomes enslaved by it. Her silence, her detachment, her absence, these force him into confrontation with the forbidden. For the woman, this is not cruelty. It is power, the kind of power that requires no noise, no demand, no argument. By walking away, she unmasks him.
She reveals the fire he pretends does not exist. She becomes unforgettable, not because she stays, but because she leaves. And so the forbidden desires rise, not spoken, not confessed, but awakened in the silence of her absence. Desire becomes hunger, hunger becomes longing, and longing, when starved, mutates into obsession. This is the next chapter, the descent into shadow, the place where a man does not chase a woman, he chases himself through the ghost she has become. Obsession does not begin in presence, it begins in absence. When silence deepens, when the echoes of her departure grow louder than her voice ever did, a man becomes haunted. Carl Jung warned that which remains unconscious is projected outward. And so she becomes everywhere, not because she is near, but because he cannot escape himself. Projection is the oldest spell of the human psyche. The man casts his shadow upon her image, turning her into more than she is, a goddess, a demon, a muse, a destroyer. She is no longer simply a woman. She becomes his anima, the mirror of everything he hides. And the more he resists, the stronger the projection binds him. He sees her face in strangers. He hears her voice in silence. He mistakes memory for reality. A message left unread feels like betrayal. A glance at another man becomes a wound. Her indifference is not indifference at all. It is fire on his skin. This is obsession, not love, not desire, but the imprisonment of his own shadow. Imagine a locked room. Inside lies a single mirror. He stares into it, but her reflection stares back. Imagine a man chasing a phantom through the night, believing if he runs faster, he will catch her. But the phantom is not hers. It is his own soul running from him. The woman who understands this does not need to explain herself. She does not chase. She does not soothe. She does not return to ease his storm. She knows that obsession is not her burden. It is his initiation, his confrontation with the shadow he has always denied. The ego tells him, "She abandoned you." The shadow whispers, "No, she revealed you." For in losing her, he does not lose love. He loses the illusion of control. And in that loss, he meets himself. The feminine power lies not in being chaste, but in being irreplaceable. Not because she clings, but because she withdraws. The man becomes obsessed not with her body, but with the wound she left open. Her silence does not weaken her, it immortalizes her. Thus, obsession is born from silence, from absence, from the shadows of projection. But obsession is not the end. It is the beginning of descent. For a man consumed by projection will either awaken or be destroyed. The next chapter is darker. It is the collapse of ego, the breaking of illusions, the confrontation with the abyss. The woman who walks away in silence isn't weak. She simply sees more. If these truths stirred something in you, let the silence break. Like this video and subscribe so the journey into the shadow continues with us.